everyone,
Hi
and
guys.
welcome. How you doing, Jean? Are you well?
Yep,
Alive and kicking
still
still?
here.
Still here?
Still here.
Good. Well, moving on to chapter 6 from your book, Wake Up, Grab, Stop It. And in chapter 6, lesson 6, number 1. What a wonderful, wild dad.
Mm,
Travel changes our outlook on everything. Every human being needs to see other places to realize theirs is not so bad
yeah,
after all.
for sure. All we can do is moan. We need to go and see the world.
The grass is not always greener on the other side.
Nope. So my dad was brought up in an orphanage. Okay, his dad died. I don't know. There were five brothers, and my granny was pregnant with the fifth brother. So four of them ended up in an orphanage. And he became a bricklayer. I don't know what education he has. I don't know. But he rode a bicycle from my house to his workplace, which was on the South African Railway as a bricklayer. We've never owned a car. Our garage has never had a car in it. He built the house I'm in. But he always said to us, and my dad never left South Africa, okay? He was born in the Cape Town, and he came up to Joburg, and he never left South Africa. He went down to the coast, and I don't even think he flew in an aeroplane. I can't remember.
Wow.
But he said to us, none of you get married before you travel. So
He knew something.
he knew something. So my oldest brother, and he was a Springbok cyclist, left school at 16 and took up cycling, went to the Olympic Games and the Empire Games, won Vancouver, won Melbourne, 1954, 56. And one day he decided he was going to go up Africa, and he put a kit bag on his back and he walked out of our house, said goodbye to us and walked down the road. My mom said to my younger brother and I, when he comes back, when you come home from school, I'll hang a red cross on the garage door so you'll know he's home. So my brother, off he went. The days when post took 3 months to get here, a long time.
Yes.
And one day, Robert and I came back from school, and there was a red rag on the door, and we'd forgotten all about it. We didn't know what it meant. And when we went into the lounge, there was this bearded man sitting with an open kit bag and stuff all over the floor, and that was that brother. He'd spent 2 years overseas. He walked up Africa,
Wow.
right up through the Nile. It was long before we were sanctioned, so he could do that.
Yes.
So they hitchhiked and got lifts throughout all up Africa.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And then he worked in England, I think, for 2 years as a pattern maker and traveled Europe, hitching in those days.
Yes, you could.
Second brother, he decided to build a Jeep. So he built a Jeep from scratch. He was dyslexic and he decided to advertise. In those days, it was the personal column in our newspapers. So he didn't tell my folks. He advertised in the personal column. A letter came to the house and he went off to meet the person called Louis. And when he came home, to his horror, he discovered it was Louise. So Louise and him went up Africa in a Jeep.
Okay.
So they got to the Angola border, and we were already sanctioned by that time.
Oh,
And there's a little piece of Angola there that they crossed over into Angola, and they were put into hotel arrest
oh,
in Angola, and then they were taken by, I think for 2 weeks they were there, and then they were taken across to wherever the boat left on the west coast.
to leave.
To get on a boat to England, yeah. And he
Wow.
was also away for a long time. The third brother went overseas on a boat just before me, about 3 years before me, and spent time over there. And then I went, 500 rand in my pocket, and a return to air ticket and a boat from Cape Town. And in my days, we couldn't go through the Red Sea because that was closed for us. So we had to go around Africa up there, and we landed in Venice.
Oh, wow.
From Venice, we caught a train to England through the canal, and two of us, my friend and I, and we ended up working in England for a long time. But we were South Africans and we were not allowed to work because we were sanctioned. So we worked for an agency called ANZAC, which I think still consists of today, Australian, New Zealand, and Canadian. And we were paid undercover. Well done, guys. Well done. Thank you. We had to get cash.
Yeah.
So we worked in hospital. So I worked in St. Mary's, Paddington, which is where Lady Di had her baby, and on night duty. And I worked at Roehampton, which had in the thalidomide units. I don't know if you know what thalidomide was.
The radiation, is it? Or what's it?
So in my days, for morning sickness, they gave a drug called Debendox.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
And then they invented, some clever oak invented thalidomide.
Yes.
And kids throughout the world started to be born without limbs.
That's right, yes.
So they then eventually traced it to
This,
the thalidomide.
yeah, the morning sickness.
So the unit I worked with at Queen Mary's in Roehampton was the thalidomide unit.
Wow.
And those kids were absolutely amazing.
Sure.
What they taught me, I couldn't believe. No arms, no legs, and they did things that I couldn't even dream of doing so. They were absolutely amazing and went on to lead good lives. And you guys that are still out there from those families, well done, is all I can say.
Yes.
My profession doesn't know everything. It screws up lots.
Yes.
But really and truly, those kids taught me a lot, and I thank you for that.
Mm.
And then we bought scooters and we traveled through Europe. So I went to my French relatives. We went to our my French relatives in Paris, met them, met my father's half sister and half brother in Beaupre, which is near Lyon. Yeah, and that uncle there was very good. He took us around, took us to Versailles, and he'd stand. You know the French. If you speak English to them, they very cross with you. They don't want to speak back. But if you speak Afrikaans, they quickly change into English, and then you can have a conversation with them.
Yes.
I don't know why the French and English never got on, but anyway, I'm not a historian. So, but he used to stand and he'd say, "If you like, we go." And then you know you were ready to go and see some famous place in Paris. So, and we traveled everywhere by scooter, which was wonderful. And in Greece, I discovered that the men, not me,
Really?
sit on the beach and drink ouzo while the women do all the
They
work.
do all the way. They still do.
They still do. So in the fields, the ladies will pop up, Calimeros, Calimeros, while the guys are sitting on the beach drinking ouzo.
Yes, and black coffee.
Yep. And thereafter, we went from Greece to Israel. Seasick, the worst seasick. I've never been seasick before that little journey, but let me tell you something. I puked all the way there. And I worked in a kibbutz in Israel called Shilla, which was magnificent. My friend and myself, and we had a great time there. And I don't know why South Africa doesn't have a kibbutz system, I must be honest. I mean, you know, you've got a roof over your head, you're working, you've got food in your face. So the brother before me, I think, went to a kibbutz where you all got a blue shirt on payday.
Oh,
so
really?
the kibbutz I was on, we all got $50.
Yes.
So even the kibbutzniks got $50. So you could go and buy a green shirt if you wanted to.
Yes.
But you started work. I mean, they got you out of bed at 3:30 in the morning. You were out in the fields at 4 o'clock because 11 o'clock it was hot.
Yes, yes.
And you worked hard. You came home. So you all had a roof and a plate of food and a job. I have no idea why Africa hasn't used the kibbutz system. I don't know. So even way back then, I mean, there was trouble in Palestine. The border was there. We were taken to the border to go and have a look. And for the first time in my life, I realized, I mean, ships in those days were not allowed within a mile distance from a coast, a beach.
That's right.
Except in Gaza, the Israeli ships with the guns out, armed, onto the beaches of the Palestinians. Yeah. There's a wonderful book. Anybody wants to read it? It's called I Shall Not Hate, by a Palestinian doctor that walked across the border every day to go into a casualty department in an operating theatre to fix up the Israelis that had been stoned and the Palestinians that had been shot. And I'm talking 1972.
And it's still going on.
So I don't have words. Hate begets hate. But I'm so pleased that we all traveled. I'm so grateful to my father.
Well, I started traveling as soon as the sanctions were lifted.
There you go.
And best decision of my life.
Yeah. So how do people want 6 cars and 5 houses and no travel?
No. And whenever I get my clients or friends, family hooked on the travel bug, then that's it.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing to see how others live and to realize that, shucks, you know, we're not so bad. We really aren't if we just be kind to each other.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't have any other words. If we can't be kind to each other, we're in trouble.
Yes.
But certainly travel broadens your mind completely.
And for most of the travel, I have to say that coming back home was really, really good.
No matter
how great it is out there. But coming home these days, the last few years, you really see the decay in South Africa. You really see the attitude at the customs, and it's really, really soul destroying to think we have such a beautiful country, and it's just really, really.
But now you've been to the east, because people that go to the west they also collapsed.
No, I was just in Greece. I was also in Turkey. I was now just in Thailand. And you come back from these places that are thriving economies. There are millions of tourists, lovely people, things just working, things moving like at a huge pace and clean. I think there are 80, I don't know how many million people just stay in Istanbul alone, and the place is spotless.
Maar Michael,
Spotless.
I rode through the squatter camp. Do you know where Angela Hotel is?
Yeah.
So I rode past there. I think the last time I was there before COVID. Okay. I'm just making up a figure, yeah. 10,000 people. If there were 2 million people,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe my eyes the other day. Not a tip or anywhere in sight for anybody to put rubbish.
Yeah.
I mean, the municipality, our Ekurhuleni has failed completely, okay?
Yeah, completely.
So it's a huge, huge problem. I have no idea how people can live like that. I was shocked rigid for days, I just want to tell you.
Yeah.
We're in 2025.
Mm.
We're not in 1652. I don't have words for it.
However, saying all of that, I still think that this is a place that has user opportunity, and that we need to be those people
Yes,
that have to
I agree
start
with you.
getting it right
I agree with
and
you.
start fixing it, like most of us are trying.
Yeah.
On many levels. People working on the ground and people working in the spiritual, getting, we all have our
Yeah.
role to play.
Yep. Like Michael Tellinger says, one village at a time, one small village at a time,
Exactly.
one human being at a time.
Yes. Okay. Any other wild things your father
Listen, he was,
with you?
for me, he was absent because he used to leave home at 5:30 in the morning and get home at 7 at night. So he was an absent father as far as that was concerned. And he was shouted at by my mother on a Sunday because he sat and read the newspaper. Okay.
When he tried,
But the poor bugger worked,
relax.
he
Yes.
worked 6 days a week. Okay.
Exactly.
As a bricklayer. But just the fact that he was brought up in an orphanage and never left the country himself and he encouraged us to read. I mean, I think I don't know where they got them in those days, but we had many banned books in my house that South Africa banned.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
That somehow my dad got hold of, and he's dead and gone, and everybody's dead and gone that can't tell me. He got a hold of banned books that we read as teenagers. We read those books written by the freedom fighters of this country, both black and white. So I'm grateful for that. He was wild in that way. And I mean, I'm back in the same house, and I have grapes, quinces, grenadillas, walnuts, plums, mulberries, pears, loquats, apricot trees dead, peaches, all figs, all producing fruit.
Wow.
That he planted 76 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have never watered. My eldest brother's been dead 16 years. I've never watered them once.
And they just carry on thriving.
Sadhguru tells you that the vegans and vegetarians are screwing up the world because they all need lots of fertilizer. He says become a fruitarian. And it's true. Yeah. They've just 70 years they've produced fruit. Amazing. I mean, quinces, people don't even know what quinces are today.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So my dad was amazing in that way. Really, he was.
Yeah.
And he had very little education.
Did he travel much?
No, he never left South Africa. He never flew on an airplane that I know of.
So he just made sure you guys did.
Yes, he made sure we did. He bought a piece of ground, him and his brother, down at Baisley Beach, which is on the south coast. So they lived there for 22 years, and we've been down there for, that's where they traveled to. We brought them up here to die in the house that I'm back in now. So, but yeah, he was amazing for somebody that had never traveled.
Yeah,
and incredible. Very open-minded. Yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing about traveling. It just opens your mind up to so much, to see different things, to see how other people function and operate. And you think it's all about your little bubble, but you just realize
so little.
And that there's other ways to do things.
Yeah.
I remember in India where we wanted a bus ticket to leave the next morning. So we go in the afternoon to the travel agent and say we need a bus ticket. And she's like, okay, gets our details, passports and everything. She says, you can come back tonight at 10. Come back tonight at 10. Yeah, your ticket will be ready at 10. I'm like, okay. So we leave and we come back at 10 o'clock and there's the ticket and everything. We arrive the next morning. There's no bus and the bus is leaving in 10 minutes. 5 minutes just before it arrives. The bus arrives, everyone gets on and it leaves right on time. And you think, oh, okay, how does this all happen? There are other ways that people do things.
Surely the West has crumbled. When I haven't been to the East, but when I listen to people talking about it, they've got something, they know something that we don't. Yeah, the West rose up and now it's like
stagnant.
Oh.
It's stagnant. Yeah, we've
got stagnant, I think, in greed. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think the East have just caught on. They're building everything for the West. So
yeah, much to USA's upsetness. They're very upset with
exactly.
China.
And that's what travel does. Just opens your
Yeah.
mind, helps you to understand different cultures and to be more open to more cultures and more experiences.
I've only been to Singapore and to Australia there. And in Singapore, I can remember if you didn't pull the chain in the toilet, they gave you a fine in public toilets. Okay. If the lady standing there,
That's
if you
right.
didn't pull the chain, you got
You
a
get a
fine.
fine. No chewing gum,
No, no
no
chewing
rubbish.
gum, no rubbish at all.
Cleanest city in the world.
No.
Yeah, really incredible
And
place.
I also remember and I went to Hong Kong. I remember being in Hong Kong and I had a can and I couldn't find a dustbin. And a guy was walking next to me and he said, just put the can on the road. I said, indignantly, no, don't be silly. I'm not putting the can on the road. He said, look over there. And I looked across the road. He said, that lady will collect it. And there was a lady with a big leather bag. He said, it's her job. Just put it here. So I put it down. And in 2 seconds, this woman was across the road through the traffic and the tin was up.
There you go.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, that's the beauty of travel.
We could learn a lot from the indigenous,
Mm,
which we didn't want to do in Africa.
yeah. Yes, our culture was ingrained.
Yes. Yeah. The indigenous know something about Mother Earth that we don't.
Mm.
We claim to know about Father God.
We also indigenous to our country and wherever it is. We all have
I
our.
don't know if we're indigenous. We came here. We ended
No, I'm talking
arrived.
about. I'm from, like, say, Irish descent. We are
Yeah,
indigenous to islands, and
foreigners, yeah.
we have our own culture and beliefs and superstitions.
We
And
came here and we said, cover your titties, take off your grass skirt, and
yes,
here is a Bible.
yes, exactly.
And I don't think that was such a good idea.
Okay.
But I don't know. All I've got less I know.
Yeah, because they were all running around half naked.
And we said we're right. We're not allowed to pick our nose because it's not right. We said that.
And I think that's what travel brings. Travel brings out that ability to see that there are so many different ways,
Yes.
so many different ways that we can live life and experience life.
Have you read a book called The Mutant Message Down Under?
Of course,
So
when she travels to Australia.
I don't think the Aussies liked that much when it came out.
Yes. Well, they said they wouldn't allow a woman to go and walk about with them, right?
Yeah.
So
Very
they had
interesting
doubts.
book.
But her experience of the walkabout
Amazing.
Was very profound and very, very spot
And it was
on
written
to what's
as a
happened.
novel, but based on truth, I think.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And her understanding the way that they did things.
Yeah, as I said, the older I've got, the less I know.
And our real indigenous, the Khoi, completely obliterated, eh?
Completely. They don't even
much-
exist.
Yeah, not much
Just so
happening.
sad. I mean, I don't know how long they spent at the union buildings, but they spent a long time there
Trying to get
trying to get
voiced.
somebody, trying to get a voice. We nuts, man.
Hmm.
Don't have to
However,
be, we can choose not to be.
I suppose if you can't travel, go travel to Cape Town, go travel to Durban, go
Yeah.
travel all over
Read a
South
good book.
Africa, read a travel book.
Don't pick
There's
up
so
don't
many.
pick up YouTube and listen to crap because there's so
Yes.
much nonsense on YouTube.
Exactly. Or you can experience travel through YouTube as
If
well.
you know which channels to go to. If you
There's
don't,
some-
you'll be taken somewhere that you don't even know.
It's like an ayahuasca trip. But you can also experience how these youngsters travel the world on those yachts. It's incredibly
Yeah, I mean, they are
brave.
wonderful, wonderful things. You've got to know which channels to go to, I guess.
There are people in the world, believe it or not, that travel the world and they do not allow money to pass through their
How about
hands.
that?
That's
How
incredible.
about that?
That's a faith of note.
That's amazing.
And
And
there's
what a
quite a few
wonderful
people.
experience.
Mm.
Yeah, sure.
And so yeah, I suppose also you need the mindset and the desire to say, okay, let me go and see what does life have to offer me.
Yeah. I've just had a friend go on the Camino.
As well.
And yeah, so her experience, I'm waiting for her. She gets home tomorrow to hear her experience. Another friend has done it. So,
yes. The full one or just half?
the one that's just gone has done 100. I think the other one did a longer one. I don't know how long it
The
is.
full month,
Yeah.
a few months.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the full one.
Yeah. It's
Extremely
a wonderful experience.
challenging, yes, but deeply spiritual, I believe.
Yeah. I'm sure your physical body's back.
Yeah.
You got to get to the spiritual.
Yeah. Yeah, and you see that was indigenous to
Yes,
that place.
absolutely.
So we have a lot to learn from other people.
And they tell you about Francis Assisi. I mean, didn't he run up a mountain? He came from a wealthy family, and he said, "He's dead. I don't want any of this. Yeah, it's my
Yes.
clothes." And he ran up the mountain. I think he had his purse with him, and I think halfway up he was robbed.
And
So he gave them the first two, and he had nothing.
Yes.
He had nothing.
Yeah.
and lived a life of service.
And that's the key,
Yep.
as we've always been saying.
Yep.
Yeah. So
That's the
yeah,
difference.
book
So
that
wonderful
travel,
wild dad. Thank you.
book the travel, go
Book the
and
travel.
see the world,
Yep.
even if it's on a cruise ship.
Forget the Porsche
Whatever.
and the second house
Yes. Take the money and make the memory.
or the butt lift. Okay.
Yes. Well, thanks, Jean.
Okay, Michael.
Until next
Thanks.
time, everyone.
Cheers.
Goodbye.
Bye.